Get comfy, grab your snackies. I hope you're ready for this episode. This has been very highly requested. These are my top 21 predictions for Miss Universe 2020. Welcome to my channel. I'm Dani Walker. If you're brand new and love episodes like this, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notifications. Today's episode is brought to you by Rehearsed to Relatable. If you are a pageant contestant and you want to learn how to stand out in the interview room, you gotta check this out. Just click the description below for more details. I have a big disclaimer for this episode. I do not know for sure if they are going to have a continental selection for the candidates this year. So what I decided to do for this episode is share with you technically more than 21 contestants. And the reason for that is because the way that they're selecting the contestants is severely going to affect who's gonna make a semifinal, just depending on how they're gonna qualify for a semifinalist spot. So for example, I might have a contestant and to me, in my mind, I'm like, yes, she is guaranteed to get into that semifinalist spot. Well, if her continental breakup area happens to be very, very competitive, she might lose that placement, and maybe somebody else is bumping her out of a wild card spot. So because of that, we're going to talk about my favorites for the continents, and also I made a section kind of for like wild cards just to even things out a little bit more, but really these things can change and be adjusted. And if you do watch Miss Universe consistently every single year, you will know that there's always contestants who show up to the pageant and pageant fans are like, no, oh no, why did she wear that gown, or why did she choose that styling for on stage? So those things are going to happen, and those are the types of things that knock a contestant out of a semifinal spot when things are super competitive like they are every year at Miss Universe. She is currently working to become a life coach. She also helped with the wildlife rescues during the time when Australia was experiencing extreme bushfires. She is great at public speaking. She's an incredible communicator. She's beautiful. She's beautifully styled. This queen has it all for me. Done, done, and done. She is immediately in my semifinalists. For anyone who doesn't keep up with Miss Universe, Cambodia is a wonderful surprise. They're very new to the Miss Universe competition, but from what we've seen from them in a very short amount of time, they really do have that potential to place in a semifinal. And in years past, for me, Cambodia has really been on that edge after I watched the preliminary competition of a contestant that I really believe should be in a semifinal. So don't be surprised if you see Cambodia making a placement this year. Have you seen her? Oh my gosh. You can tell that India is very hungry for a Miss Universe win. It hasn't been since the year 2000 that they won that Miss Universe title, so it's been quite some time. It would be pretty special if Adeline won on the 20th anniversary of Lara's win at Miss Universe, and she's just incredible. What I love about her the most is probably how pleasant she is. She's very composed, but she's also really captivating when you listen to her. So I think that that's going to be one of her strengths for an onstage question, is if she's able to showcase that poise under pressure. Oh my gosh, so let's talk about the fact that Indonesia was in the top 10 last year. I was in the audience watching that show, and honestly, I really thought that they were headed for a top 5 placement last year. It really surprised me. But this year's contestant has so much support. Let's also mention how much support Indonesia has been giving to their other national title holders. Miss Grand Indonesia, who finished in the top 5 recently, had so much support from the country. She had one of the top fan votes. So I'm really seeing everybody rally and come behind Miss Indonesia for Miss Universe. I'm very excited about that, and I just cannot wait to see what she's going to bring to the stage. Philippines! Huge fan favorite, of course. And what's interesting about Rabia's year is she is the first Miss Universe Philippines that is directed by Shamsi Supsup. And Shamsi was 3rd runner-up to the Miss Universe title when she represented the Philippines. So it's really great to see the amount of effort and the lengths that they're going to help Rabia be as successful as possible. I really believe that she does have that potential to take Philippines back into that top 10 or possibly back into that top 5. I would love to see her up there again. I really believe that her heart's fully in this, and she would be such a great representative. Wow, okay, they are really preparing for that back-to-back win here. And I know that Natasha is incredibly prepared for this competition. She's facially very stunning. You can like immediately see her on stage. She's just so beautiful. And I have a feeling her wardrobe is going to be incredible once again. We saw some posts earlier this year online kind of talking about how they're really looking for that back-to-back win playing in South Africa, and it means a lot to them. So I think that we could potentially see South Africa back up in that top 2. But the question is, are we going to see a repeat of 2018 when they took home the first runner-up position? So I really don't know, but Natasha is really coming for that crown. Amanda is really giving it her all, and so is the organization behind her, and I love seeing that. I really believe that they have faith in their contestant, and we've seen that Amanda can walk the walk, but can she talk the talk? I really believe that that is going to be the determining factor in her placement this year at the Miss Universe competition. Vietnam was also one of my favorite contestants last year, and I think they're doing an incredible job helping to prepare their contestants for Miss Universe, but we don't see as much about the behind the scenes and really what's going into it. We just kind of see the product of it. And I haven't really been seeing as many fans from Vietnam cheering for their queen, especially in the recent episodes that I have. So I'm really curious what everybody else thinks about Miss Vietnam, but she is one of my favorites. Let's kick this off with Brazil. She's really impressed me in recent months. I found out that she is an actress in the Chinese film industry, which honestly is very unique. And what that says to me is that she has a lot of experience with press and on camera. I think that her professional abilities are really going to shine here at the Miss Universe competition. Also, can we talk about her swimsuit body? Oh my gosh, she is so fit. She's putting so much into her walk, so I'm so excited to see her compete this year. She was a really nice surprise for me this year. I have noticed Barbados contestants in recent years, but I feel like what's kind of been holding them back is that presentation on stage, and that the wardrobe is sort of hit or miss for me sometimes. Although I've personally liked it, I can understand why it's not drawing as much attention, just considering the level of competition at the international pageant. So I really liked her. She caught my attention, and I think that she could surprise some people as well. Okay, another really big fan favorite, and what I think is really smart is that she shared her personal story. She talked about being separated from her family and how that's shaped her as an adult, and I think that she's really gonna pull on some heartstrings, guys, during the show. I think that that's what's gonna happen with Canada, so we'll see what happens from there. I think that's a smart strategy. Well, Colombia was in the top 5 last year, so obviously there's a lot of really great prep going on, but we do have a new director, so their strategies could have dramatically changed for our new title holder here. And the thing that I really love about her, she looked great in her up close video that they posted, but what I've seen from her outside of that is what really gets me excited about seeing her on stage. Just check out these clips of her interacting with people. She seems like so much fun in these clips, and this is the title holder that I am hoping to see on stage at the competition. Another really great contestant right here. She is just so stunning. Even other contestants have commented about this before. They've just noted that Miss Mexico is just so beautiful, and I think that that's obviously going to be one of her strengths. It doesn't hurt if you can kind of capture those judges' attention with your beauty on stage. But what I'm really hoping for her is that she's going to have that wow moment, just like our last year's title holder did when she removed that skirt on stage. It was just like this gasp in the audience from everyone when you were in that live show. It was really phenomenal, and I hope that she's gonna have something just as special prepared and planned for her performance. Panama. So I'm very excited about her this year particularly. I can see her in a top 5. She is so well styled, she's so just statuesque and stunning and beautiful, and she has all of that stuff, right? But she really spoke from her heart in her up close video. The thing I'm worried about for her is her wardrobe and her styling, because in recent years, for the evening gown competition in particular, I feel like their styling and their wardrobe, although it's beautiful and it stands out to me, for some reason it's just not working at that Miss Universe level. Like, I would really have to look into it much further, but that is the reason I feel like has maybe been holding them back in recent years, even though to me they have sent some of the best unplaced contestants to Miss Universe. She is super fun. I talked about her in another episode, and I just, from the energy that I see that comes from her, I feel like we would be friends. Like, I feel like we would have a really great time hanging out. She also is an actress, and what I envision when I think of her placing in a semifinal is that she will have a great interaction with the host, and that interaction will make the audience and make the judges fall for her even more. So that's something that I would predict for her if we see her in a semifinal. Puerto Rico, we have to talk about her because she was first runner-up to Madison, and as you know, if you follow pageants, Madison was first runner-up last year at the Miss Universe competition. And there's a phrase that I love, and it's just iron sharpens iron. So by nature of her competing with another strong contestant, it allows her to improve her skills even more and be an even stronger competitor. Now, she has had a lot of time off between the time of last year when she was first runner-up and then being appointed as this year's title holder. So I think that she has actually been spending time working on her communication skills and on her walk and all of those things. She does really great on stage anyways. Honestly, I'm not really worried about that. And I think that their styling in recent years has been beautiful. We've seen a lot of placements from them, but I think that really what would draw her closer to that crown is going to be her speaking abilities, and it looks like she's been working on that. How in the world has USA become a dark horse for me? What in the world? I feel like this year she has gone pretty unnoticed and really under the radar, and I talk a lot more about that in a recent episode, so check this one out. But I love our title holder, honestly, and if you guys take the time to really make the effort and get to know her virtually, so to speak, and see what she's all about, I really think that you'll love our Miss USA as well. Of course, in the US, I think that our challenges are the walk and also the styling. So I don't know what's really going on with the prep there, and it's hard for me to make a prediction about USA this year. But a lot of people are saying that because of that sash factor, because she's going to be a hometown girl, the pageant is held in the US, and really this to me makes the most sense, because you will probably have a primarily American judging panel, that is essentially going to fast track her to a semifinal position. Venezuela is a really big pageant powerhouse, okay? So never sleep on Venezuela, and I feel like we are recently in these past years because of the switch to IMG. They haven't been performing as well ever since then, or haven't been scoring as well. But this year's contestant has a really incredible onstage walk and presentation, and I think that is going to capture the judges' attention. And then we just cross our fingers and hope that she is prepared for any onstage questions. I love her. She was actually supposed to be in another recent episode, and I don't know what happened. It slipped my mind. Sorry, friends. But she's amazing. She's unique because she's autistic, and that's what she advocates for, and she's done so much work for that. Also, she's stunning to me. She's a very easy pick. Jamaica. Love. Wow, their queens have gotten close to that crown in recent decades, but haven't quite clinched it. And what I feel like really it's not necessarily anything that they've really done wrong, so to speak. I just feel like the stars have to align for Jamaica. Like, it has to be her night, if that makes sense. We've kind of talked about this a little bit in the comment section, a few of us, right? So I feel like that's all it is, because I think that she has all the qualities of a great Miss Universe. Nepal is someone that I am looking forward to seeing compete, because in recent years we've seen Nepal place. She's been sort of a surprise for people. I think that in terms of wardrobe, that could be improved for this year, so who knows what they're going to be coming to the stage with. But this year's title holder is incredibly intelligent, very well poised, and just elegant. She's so elegant, and I love that. I'm a fan. Nicaragua. So I think that she could be a really great surprise for the show. I feel like she's one of the contestants that if you follow pageants, you may have noticed her or you may love her, but I feel like in recent years, their title holders, it's like they're barely missing a cut somehow, and I really don't understand what's going on. But this year's queen, I believe that she is sweet, she's confident, she's humble, she's beautiful, she's intelligent, she's well-spoken. She literally has all the qualities of a Miss Universe, and if she were to win, I think it would be a surprise, but I think that people would love her as a title holder. I think that she could do a really great job. Peru. Really big fan favorite right here. Okay, so she has an incredible walk, and that's what I'm expecting to see from her on stage. That's what I'm expecting to make her stand out on stage. I haven't heard as much from her in terms of her communication skills, so for me, I'm just a little bit unclear on that, so I can't really give you a great indicator of a prediction for her in terms of specifics for a placement, like a top 20, 10, or a 5. She really caught my attention during the up close videos. Oh my gosh, she was just this breath of fresh air. She just was so sweet and so bubbly in that interview, and she had so much personality that I think that she could capture the judges' attention. I really think that she can, so be on the lookout for Japan. Dominican Republic. So this is interesting. They released her up close video late, so she missed my last episode about my up close favorites. But if you really pay attention, her video was 1 minute and 30 seconds, just like Australia's was. And you can tell me who else got the long videos, but basically everybody had a 1 minute video except for them. And I do think that that's an advantage because judges are gonna watch that and they're gonna be able to see even more from those contestants. I think it's an unfair advantage, frankly, but she did a great job with this video and it really, really impressed me because I've seen how beautiful that she is on social media, but I hadn't really heard her speak a lot yet, and she got me. She got my vote because of the video that she released. If they do a continental breakup, I really believe that France is going to be in a semi-final. So not just because she's beautiful and I'm telling you she's gonna have an incredible couture gown this year, but not just because of that, really it's because of her personality and her confidence. She is tireless. She is a hard worker and she makes it look easy. She's always like positive and ready to go and fun, and I think that she would be a really, really fun Miss Universe. So we would have a great time watching her. She is someone that surprised me. She was not on my radar until I got to see the video clip that was released by Miss Universe of her. And I think that the reason that she's really been off of our radar is she hasn't really participated in a lot of eye-catching glam shoots, and people love that, frankly. Okay, we love to see the transformation of these contestants. We love the glam, and that's one of the ways that you can bring more attention to your contestants. And I think that that's the reason why she's gone under the radar. But because Europe isn't, as I would say, as historically competitive, like if you look at Miss Universe in the past, and if you look at where were each of these countries from, in the last decade or two, a lot of them were from, well, because of the new scoring breakup, but a lot of them are from Africa, Asia, or Latin America, right? Like South America. So that's where we're seeing a lot of these contestants come from. And so for me, she's a really, really great surprise. And who knows, maybe she could place for Europe or place as a wild card. Romania. We have to talk about the fact that she has placed in the top 5 for Miss International, which has a really great speaking competition, and also for Miss Supranational. So she is a fierce competitor. She's really been on both ends of the spectrum. She's a model. This is going to give her a ton of experience. So she's been put on the spot for her speaking abilities, but also for her ability to strut on that runway. That's a killer combination. I wouldn't be surprised to see her in a top 5 this year. I would not be surprised to see her win the competition. She might be just like what USA was this year at Miss Grand International. Abina competed at Miss Earth and at Miss Universe, and it looks like what she needed to take home an international crown was just all that combined experience, which she had, and then she applied it to this next competition. So I'm excited to see what Romania is gonna bring to the stage. I think that she can surprise everyone. She is such a beautiful contestant to me. Her eyes are so piercing when you look at her, and she's just great. She's a great speaker. She's well styled. It looks, from the look of her up close video, that she would have a decent walk on stage too. Okay, I don't know about one of the best walks. I can't speak to that, but even looking at this short clip of her, it looks like she could have some really, really great on stage performances. So I'm excited for her. If Great Britain brings to the stage and brings to the competition what she brought in her up close video, watch out. You're gonna fall in love with her. She is a performer, friends. That's dangerous in this competition. Let me tell you, she knows how to work a camera. She knows how to perform on stage, and that is a skill that is powerful in this competition. And I think she's really gonna stand out. Those are my predictions, if you will. I don't claim that I can see into the future. Those are the contestants that I think that are gonna be placing for the different continents if we do have that. And honestly, if we don't have that, then anybody's game at that point, right? If we don't have that anymore and it's just strictly based on scores, I really don't know what to tell you, friends. But the reason, like I said at the beginning, that I really wanted to include and acknowledge these other contestants is because of how they're scoring them. It's because of how they are dividing the continents, and that is really going to affect who places where. And that's honestly why we've seen so many shocking results or a lack of placement in recent years for Universe. It's because there's too many great contestants. I mean, it changes year to year, but what happens is you have a ton of great contestants and they're all in one continent. So the odds are stacked against them. Not only do they have to stand out in front of everyone, they have to stand out and just fight for a spot in that semifinal against the ladies that are in their continent, which happen to be super competitive. And that's the really interesting thing. If you really, really look at prelims, I think that if they're going to be scoring this way, that what they should do is break up the preliminary competition so that the judges can see, here's Africa and Asia Pacific, here's Europe, here's the Americas, and then leave the wild cards up to whatever, just let that be a thing. Because it's really interesting that you have to consider that at prelims, the contestants kind of aren't all competing against one another. They're competing against only the women in their continents, and then everybody else who happens to have a top score there is making it in as a wild card, or is being selected by the organization because they think that she would be great on TV. So that's something really to consider, friends, how this is going to affect the results. And that's why I wanted to add in some extra contestants, because I feel like that's kind of only fair. And also, let's acknowledge honestly all of the ladies that are going. They've overcome so much this year with a global pandemic going on. It's kind of insane what they've all gone through and experienced just to get to the Miss Universe stage. This is a huge deal. This is literally a historic pageant. It's something that we hopefully will never see again, but it's just something that is going to make this a really unique year and a really extra special win for whoever is selected as Miss Universe. So be sure, friends, that when you leave your comments below showing support for your favorites, to be really kind, be a great example of how supportive the pageant community is, because the contestants watch this. And what do we want to do? What's the purpose of pageants? We want to build up the contestants. We don't want to tear them down. So let's just encourage these ladies and cheer for them. Friends, I am so excited because I will be vlogging Miss Universe this year. I was able to make that happen, and I'm so thankful for it and thankful for all of you who are watching. So actually, if you guys have any requests for things that you want to see in my Miss Universe vlog, please leave that down below, because I'm already planning for that. So let me know what your thoughts are for that. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode. I hope to see you at the next one.